Hello and welcome, it's Karen. Thank you so much for joining me again. I have got a step card here to share with you today. It features Gerda Steiner's Snow Angel stamp set. And all these guys are just having fun in a snowbank. So to start this card, instead of showing you the exact card, I wanted to show you this part just because it needs to dry. So I have colored my images and I'm just applying a little Nuvo glitter accents in fresh Snowfall around the hands and feet of all these little images just to make it look like they're playing in the snow. And on the trees I put some Moonstone Glimmer paste. This card doesn't have a lot happening on it other than these characters, so I wanted a little bit of shimmer and shine just to give it a bit more interest. Now I also put some glossy accents on Rudolph's nose, the gingerbread man, and I think on Santa's buckle as well. So to make the step part of the card, I started with a 4 1/4 by 11-inch piece of cardstock. And for mine, because I wanted these to be hills, I've made my creases at 1.5 inches, 1.5 inches. That's the first step. And then a 2.5 inch space from that point, and again another 2.5 inches. So that just makes them step up a little bit taller. You can choose to do it whatever size you want. Because I was trying to make snowy hills for them to make their snow angels on, that was what I chose. So I start with the first one because that will be a mountain fold. And that's just seemed like the easiest one to start with. And then you do a valley fold. And so you just follow this mountain, valley, mountain, valley. And as you can see, they're getting to be bigger steps, which is what I wanted. I think that's called the concertina fold. I'm not sure, but an accordion fold, I don't know. But mountain, valley, and there you have the steps. So there's 3 steps there, and the way that this will then go together is I take a card front, which you have right there. You can decorate that any way you want, pattern paper, whatever you want on it. And then I sandwich that step part of the card against the card front and the card base. And to get them together, I actually just use my tape gun, and it all seems to hold together very well. It stands up well too. So I'm making some snowbanks here, and I just wanted them to be tall enough to cover up that first step. I didn't want it to be so low that those little step pieces would show. So I've cut the first 2, which were easy enough, but this last one I wasn't sure how tall to make it. So I decided to wait till I'd made my card front, and I am using this, it's a new stencil for me. It's from A Colorful Life, and it's their Cloud Edger stencil, which really is quite pretty. I think this is a small Texas-based company. I had to order this online, and it came, and it's just a beautiful stencil. So I'm just using some Distress Oxide in Speckled Egg, Tattered Rose, and Spun Sugar. And actually I went back in with a little tumbled glass just to brighten up that blue a bit at the top. So you can see those clouds. It's really quite pretty. And so now I've cut my last snowbank to fit there. And I decided I wanted to emboss these, of course. So I chose this embossing folder. It wasn't what I had planned on, but when I saw these circles, I thought, oh, that's a lot like making snow angels. So this is a Kaisercraft circles embossing folder, and I just embossed all those snowbanks. And now, by the magic of video, I have made all the snowbanks, attached them, and I've attached them all to my card front and my card base with the trees in place. And as you can see, I've put a few of these images up on action wobblers. I've had these hanging around my desk for forever. And I thought, oh, this would be perfect for these guys. So to attach them, and I don't even know for sure I do it the right way, but the side that is the donut shape is the one I attached to the image. So I just peeled off the backing and stuck it down to that. And then you peel the backing off the other side. And just because I had done the embossing, I added a little bit of glue to this. I didn't think it would stick as well on those ridges, so the glue was there as insurance. And I just, of course, had to hide Santa and Rudolph. I love having a little surprise element on my cards, or an interactive element. So they're hiding down below the last snowbank. And I just pressed them down and held on for a minute or so. Now, if you don't have an action wobbler, I have made them before. You need a thin wire. So this is a 28 gauge wire. And all I do is I wrap it around a pen or a pencil. I don't know, 5, 6, 7 times around. The more you do, the higher up it will be on the card. And then I just slide them off. So it's kind of like a spring. And I have 2 small die-cut circles of cardstock with a hole poked in each end. And I feed the wire ends through that and attach them with double-sided adhesive. And they work really well. So if you didn't have the action wobblers, you could make some. Now, because this card kept opening up like that, I felt like it needed a belly band just to hold it together until it got to the recipient. So I have a piece of cardstock that's about 11 inches wide and I think a little bit under 2 inches in height. And as you can see, I just loosely wrapped that around my card and I'm just creasing where it folded around the card. And then that will fit right around nice and fairly snugly. You don't want it to be too tight. Now on the back, I'm just kind of seeing where the middle of the join is. You just cut 2 little slits up to about the middle and remove the little piece that is in the middle of that. Take your pencil, mark where the top point is, and then on the other side you rotate it around and cut 2 more little slits. And then those will slot together and it's easier to remove that way without having to slide it on and off your card. So then the front, of course, you decorate any way you want. And I have die cut mine on the bottom, heat embossed some snowflakes and a sentiment, and it all holds my card together nicely. The card stands up and it's another fun Christmas card. And honestly, the kids will have no end of fun playing with those action wobblers. They really are fun to do. So there's the card. I hope that's given you a little bit of inspiration. These are really fun little stamps to play with, especially on the wobblers. Thanks for joining me, and I hope to see you again next time.